Oh, it doesn't look like I've... Oh, why haven't I got sound still? What the hell's going on? Why haven't I got sound? Oh, you stupid game. Have I or haven't I got sound is the question. I don't want that one. That's the wrong one. Oh, what's going on? Why haven't I got sound? Why? Done it. Found it. Nice. Son of a... I don't want that one. Bitch. Oh, apologies for my language, people, but god damn it. Whew. Right. I've got to let these boys know we're back. Oh. What's going on? Why haven't I got sound? Oh, what a flap. What an absolute flap. Oh my god. Found it. Nice. Son of a bitch. Apologies for my language, people. D-Dot, yo. Oh my god, D-Dot. I've had mares. Right. Yeah, I've got to turn all sorts of other stuff off as well because I've got my own sound running in my own ears. Damn it. Jesus. Shabba. Yes, Hatter. So I found it. I found the button I needed to press. Clown. Right. Well, that was panic mode for a minute, wasn't it? Whew. Right, we've got it back. We've got it back. Tell me if it's too loud, too quiet now. Jesus. Praise baby Jeebus. So, lobby settings have been reset. We are... yes, we have. They have been reset. I don't know who's on pole. I think it's Hatter. I could be wrong. I had to throw myself out right at the end of qualifying. I wasn't looking at the scores because I had full panic. It was warranted panic as well because I didn't have sound. Panic over. For the time being, you never know what chaos and mayhem might appear yet. So some of the positions up on screen now. Yeah, I do think it's Hatter Lad on pole. Right, there we go then, the race just about to get underway. Let's have a look at grid positions when they pop up. So unfortunately you'll have to watch the first stream if you want to watch the qualifying, because it'll be silent apart from me yapping because I'm an idiot. There it is, Hatter on pole then, IT43 in second, Pajonski third, Cutler fourth, D-Dot fifth, Rob Scott fifth, Old Crawler, Rob Scott sixth, Old Crawler in seventh, Ricky J in eighth, number one Pops in ninth. So, wait for these lights to drop and these drivers to get underway. 1 hour endurance coming up and they're away. It's a good start by Cutler, he's managed to fire himself up to the side of Pajonski. Got himself in front, but it is Hatter Lad that leads the way into turn one. IT43 into second, Cutler third. Oh, IT43's gone wide and Rob Scott's gone wide. Oh, lucky both drivers able to keep it on the track there. That has allowed Cutler to sneak through. Yes, Mr. Wolf, how you doing, brother? Cutler's managed to sneak through into second position with that little off-track action there from IT43. He's managed to hold on to third position, but it is Podjonski under threat now. IT43's gone through. D-Dot has just gone through as well. Podjonski pushed down to fifth. Old Crawler sixth. Rob Scott then, oh, he's run wide again through Surtees. That's not allowed him to make the attack he wanted on Old Crawler. He might still get the toe down here. Ricky J in 8th, number 1 Pops in 9th. Still bumper to bumper then, halfway around lap 1, but I think Hattalad's managed to pull a tyre. Oh no, he's not. No, he's not. Mr. Johansson Hansen. JGH Jason Hansen. Not Johansson Hansen. There you go. How blind I am. Oh, Cutler, it's not. It's D-Dot's. D-Dot's run wide through Sheen. Oh, and he's done it again through Sterling's. That's allowed Podjonski to come back and take that 4th position back off him. Back up front is Hattalad leading as they come round to end lap 1. IT43's now run himself off track at Clark Curve. There's going to be drivers piling past him as he's lost all his speed. He's going to end up at the back of the pack now, unfortunately, IT43. Yeah, big shout out to the boys over there on DDR's channel as well. Oh, Hattalad under threat. Cutler looking for a move on him. Let's put the nonsense on for you lot. He's having to go defensive. Ooh. Cutler had a think about the inside then. He's having to go defensive then. All depends on what tyres they're on, so they do have to use all 3 compounds of tyre throughout the race. And they're only allowed to use 1 set. So it is Hatter on the hard tyres. Cutler's gone for the medium tyres, so that's why he's put in Hatter under pressure. Hatter doing well to defend at the minute. Who's going to give up here through Hawthorns? Cutler backs off. He can keep the pressure on Hattalad though. They're starting to pull a little bit of a gap from Podjonski behind. Let's just jump on board with him. His gap 1.2 back from these two. He is closing though. There's a little bit of a battle between these two, and the medium tyre is just allowing him to close the fight up. There's Sheen. He's managed to get it through there cleanly. Here's Sterling's. We've seen D-Dot get it wrong through there. Oh, Cutler's gone a little bit wide. There is D-Dot in 4th. Managed to keep it on track this time. Just jumped over from D-Stream. No problem. Make sure you drop a like before you disappear back over there. Thank you, people. Oh, D-Dot testing those track limits behind. That's still Hatter leading. Cutler's not managed to find a way past him yet, but he is known to be able to whisper a set of tyres around, especially this circuit. Brands Hatch, one of his favourites, I think. So on to lap 3 then. Let's have a run through the... Oh, Cutler, where are you going? Cutler, where are you going? Maniac, so he's lost out with that fight with Hatter. He's put himself under pressure from Podjonski. D-Dot's also on the hard tyre, so he'll have difficulty catching up with those drivers in front, although Hatter's controlling the pace of them and he's also on that hard tyre. You need a PlayStation or a Game Boy. I don't know whether a Game Boy would quite cut this level of graphics. A modded one maybe. Rob Scott in 5th then. His little off-track action cost him a couple of positions early on. He has managed to make his way back through the field, so he's up into 5th. Old Crawler not far behind him in 6th. And then it's a battle for 7th, 8th and 9th behind. We've got number 1 Pops, Ricky J and DDR IT43. IT43 unfortunately qualified 2nd. Got himself right up there. Didn't get the best of starts. Got overtaken by Cutler and then managed to throw himself off the circuit. Where was that? Not Surtees, sorry, Clark Curve. Ricky J. Yeah, and ended up at the back of the pack. He's having a look at Ricky J then. Round the outside of Ricky J into... This is where he got it wrong. He's managed to keep it on track this time. Let's get ourselves back up front. Hatter still leads. Cutler and Podjonski tucked right behind him though. There's less than a second between these three. D-Dot's only 2.6 seconds back. He has still got Rob Scott for company as well. Rob Scott's on the mediums, D's on the hard tyres. Or a Sega. Sega. I was there, people, when they were all invented. Hatter's under pressure now. Let's get ourselves on board with him. That's the wrong flipping key. He's under pressure. Cutler's going to have another look round the outside as they come down Pilgrims and back up the Hawthorns. It's going to be difficult to run around the outside of him here. Oh, is he going to have a look into Westfield? It's going to be difficult. Pajonsky's hot on his tail. Ooh, Hatter, you may pick up a penalty for that, my friend. I don't know. Looks like he might have got away with it up into Sheen Curve then. That's a very tricky corner, that one. Keeping it together so far on the hards, though. No worries. Cutler under threat now. It is Pajonsky piling the pressure on. D's not been able to close the gap. He's under pressure. D-Dot's just lost that 5th position behind. Rob Scott's managed to get his way through into 4th. Again, on that medium tyre versus the hard tyre behind, so should be able to make a bit of a break from D-Dot. We'll see, though. We'll see. These three still bumper to bumper pretty much as they go through Druids. Of close fights on track, really. There's this one, we've got the one behind. Why won't you do that? Come on, there we go, between D-Dot and Rob Scott. But again, D-Dot on that harder tyre is going to have to push those really hard to try and keep up with Rob Scott around this circuit. Old Crawler's having a bit of a fight with IT43, who's managed to get his way past Ricky J and Old Crawler, and number 1 Pops. What's happened to number 1 Pops? He's just got it wrong somewhere a little bit, I think. No damage on his car, he's just lost out. Sorry, that's not number 1. Oh, there's number 1 Pops. Yeah, I think he's just got it wrong somewhere. Had to gather it all back up, but just missed the overtake from Cutler. He's now under threat from Hatter. So maybe Hatter made a little mistake, because Cutler had lost all that time to him. Just having to coast it around some of these corners to not run it too wide. Top 5 drivers still pretty close together, all on the start-finish straight at the same time. So we're not looking too bad on Cutler's mediums at the minute. Hatterlad's hards looking very, very similar in terms of wear. He has had to push that mini hard though to try and stay in front of Cutler. And now pushing it hard to try and keep up with him as well. He's got Pajonsky less than a second behind. Rob Scott now only 1.6 seconds back from that battle, and D-Dot still hanging on in there, just a second back at the minute, 1.1. Again, on that hard tyre. We'll be pushing those pretty hard. Old Crawler and IT43. IT43, has he? He's not. I thought he just got his nose up the inside into Surtees, but he hadn't. But he's going to be able to pile the pressure on Old Crawler down this long straight here. Not able to close the gap. Okay, on the hard tyres, Old Crawler on the mediums. Yeah, so he's managed to... again, IT43 looks up the inside into Westfield. Dangerous corner to be looking for an overtake through there. Again, just trying to get his nose up the inside anywhere at the minute is IT43. We know he's got the pace. Again, he was second in qualifying. But he's on this hard tyre. It's difficult to make attacks against drivers on the faster tyres, which unfortunately Old Crawler is on. Let's see what's happening up front. Has Cutler managed to make a bit of a break yet? No, he hasn't. Hatter still hanging on in there on that set of hards. driver behind Pajonski also on the mediums. D-Dot's got himself back past Rob Scott. What have you done to yourself, Rob Scott? You've fired yourself off at Paddock Hill again, haven't you? Old Crawler still managing to keep his way ahead of IT43. Going to have the inside line now into Graham Hill as well. Now, can IT43 get the drive out? No, he can't. Just having to hang on to the back end of Old Crawley. He's able to get the power down a little bit earlier than IT43. Tucked right behind him now. Can he use the slipstream to make the move? Almost side by side as they come up the hill. Squirrely under braking. He makes the move this time though, IT43. Plenty of room given by Old Crawler. There we go. Through he goes into 6th. But can he hold on to it? That softer tyre might just help Old Crawler out a little bit. Ricky J then only 2.9 seconds back. Number 1 Pops unfortunately falling a bit further back on those hards. 9 seconds down now in 9th. And now Cutler's starting to make a little bit of a move. 1.1 seconds over Pajonski, who's also got himself past Hatterlad. Again, Hatter on that set of hards did well. 8 laps, managed to keep himself up front. Or 7 laps, apologies. D-Dot again has managed to get his way back in front of Rob Scott. Hard versus medium fight here as well. Now, what can IT43 do? Now he's been released. Ooh, Old Crawler. Ooh, he's still going sideways. There you go. Kicked the rear end out, just getting his wheels on the sand through Paddock Hill. The car went sideways. He managed to gather it back up before it went sideways and then pinned him into the wall. But now, just runs it wide there as well. Now lost IT43. He's now 2.3 seconds up the road. Looks like Ricky J's struggling on those on the hard tyres as well. It's allowed number 1 Pops to close that gap up on him. Now then, Cutler is starting to work now. 1.3 seconds, nearly 1.4. Pajonski's got no answer for him either. Tyres looking slightly better on Cutler's car as well. Again, could all change later on. They have to use all that, the 3 compounds. So these two will have the mediums and the softs left for stints 2 and 3. Whereas Hatter will have the mediums and the... the two drivers will now have the hards and the soft. Hatter will have the mediums and the softs. Still only 3.2 down on the mediums, on the hards. Old Scott not managed to make those work. A little bit of a glitch there in the lobbies. What's happening? IT43 then pushing hard, managed to make a break from Old Crawler. 1.7 seconds again on that hard tyre. Old Crawler behind on the medium, might be able to bring that time back down. And the fight for 8th and 9th, Ricky J and number 1 Pops still pretty much bumper to bumper. Tiny little mistakes setting in, I think, from certain drivers, which is just allowing everyone else to catch up with them. Except this man now pulled another 2 tenths over Pajonski, 1.5. Forcing those hards round again for another couple of laps. So I'm not sure how long the tyres will last here at Brands Hatch. We'll have to see what sort of times drivers start coming in from pit stops. Tis D-Dot is closing the gap up on Rob Scott. On Pajonski. It's not Pajonski, it's Hatterlad. See, New Year, don't even know what I'm talking about. This always happens. Now only 2 seconds down is D-Dot. He's pushing that little Mini as hard as he can. So just over the 15-minute mark. Nobody coming into the pits yet. Plenty of life left on everyone's tyres. Nobody's opted for the soft tyre for stint 1. Jay's managed to pull a gap again from number 1 Pops. Now 3 seconds between these two. Pajonsky just maintaining that gap, 1.4 at the minute. He's got a line through Surtees. He pulls a couple of tenths again, 1.6, 1.7. There is Pajonsky doing everything he can to try and hold on to Cutler. Hatter still not doing too bad a job, just 2.1 seconds down on those hards. D-Dot still bringing that time down. Still got Rob Scott for company though. Chocolate Monster must have had far too much over the holiday period. One too many dairy milks, methinks, Mr. Scott. T43 not been able to bring the time down between himself and Rob Scott at the minute. Plenty of space between himself and old Trawler now. 4.4 seconds the gap between those two. Ricky J another 10 seconds back, and number 1 Pops another 3.4 back. Is that Cutler going a bit deep through Graham Hill? Possibly. Again, he's just able to find a little bit of time through Surtees. Gap up to 1.9 seconds. He is looking after his tyres. Not too bad, actually. Set of hards, doing all right. Let's have a flick. Who else on hards? Hatters. Let's have a look at Hatter lads' hards. Blam! Great big chunk of red. Probably double the amount of wear that D-Dot's running. So yeah, might be able to run the longer stint. It might be a ploy of his just to, you know, not attack. Just Rob Scott has got his way past though. Holding a penalty for his trouble. He's piling the pressure on Rob Scott. He did try and lose his penalty. He's trying to lose a bit more through there. That's going to give D-Dot the advantage. Although Rob Scott on that medium tyre still able to pressure him on the way out. Who's going to get it into Paddock Hill? Okay, so ooh, this could end up dangerously. Again, side by side as they run up into Druids. And now Rob Scott with the advantage down into Graham Hill bend. It took a while, but he's managed to get his way back past. Oh, D-Dot. Again, just a little bit of glitching going on in this lobby. So race leader Cutler now 2.4 seconds up the road. Again, just finding time. Both drivers pulling more time over Hatter in third as well. 4.1 seconds down. This battle for fourth still kicking off. Only 1.8 seconds back from Hatter's. There he is. Both Hatter and D-Dot will have got rid of their hard tyres in stint 1. We expect majority of drivers to save the softs till the final stint, but I have been proven wrong in the past, and we do get rogue drivers sticking on the softs for stint 2, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, it was close. we don't like drivers inside each other when they're that came out wrong. Losing penalties and ghosting out. It can cause chaos when other drivers are about. Swings it up high to get a better run out, but does it benefit him? No, they're right on Hattalad's tail now though. Less than a second back, these two actually. Hatter's hards looking very red indeed, very red. Come on. Now, can Rob Scott use the extra little benefit from those mediums to close the gap? What is it, 0.6, 0.5? It is coming down. Again, closes up through Hawthorns down towards Westfield. Right on his bumper now. D-Dot's still right there with these two. Three drivers pushing hard. Doing all he can to try and stay and keep this third position. He's under all sorts of pressure now from Rob Scott as they come into Stirling's though. Now Rob Scott goes for the move. He's got the power, just pushes his way past as they head down towards the Clark curve. Still got his nose up the inside though, has Hatter. Rob Scott mediums should be able to just pull him past as they head down this start-finish straight. No. Oh, it's a battle for third now. D-Dot's managed to get himself up the inside of Rob Scott and up the inside of Hatter. Oh my god, I've got to change camera. D-Dot then sneaks his way into third position with that little battle. Oh, but he's gone deep into Druids. That's allowed Rob Scott to come through, and Rob Scott is on that medium tyre. Fortunately, Hatter's been pushed down to fifth position. His tyres looking very beaten up. Can he now hang on to these two? That's the question. Let's just have a see what's going on up front. We've still got a Cutler leading now by 4 seconds over Bajonski. Look at the difference in tyre wear. Both drivers first and second on the medium tyres. Cutler's just under the half worn point. And there you go, Bajonski's just over the half worn point. Be struggling, but they're still pulling time over this pack behind. Rob Scott, D-Dot and Hatter 5 seconds back. The battle for third. So I would expect to start seeing the drivers with the hard tyres coming. Oh no, I would expect the medium drivers to be coming in now, but Cutler's stopping out, Bajonski stopping out, Rob Scott stops out. Has Hatter thrown himself in the pits? Yes, he has. So D-Dot then stays out on the hard tyres. Hattalad comes in. Medium tyres forced into, just gets overtaken there by IT43, comes back out into fifth position. Always ridiculously loud when they come out of the pits for some reason. So Hatter, the first of the pit stops. His hards were looking pretty worn though. I would expect to see Bajonski in possibly next lap. He's lost another second to Cutler. And he is now losing time to Rob Scott and D-Dot behind as well. That gap's come down to 3.8 from 5. Again, medium tyres on Rob Scott's car looking very good, better than Cutler's even. As Mr. Wolf was saying, D-Dot's looking after his hards beautifully at the minute. 35 minutes left of this race. Most drivers on the hards would be expected to be throwing him in about 25 minutes. I would have expected the medium tyre drivers to be in about 20 minutes, but He seems to be doing all right here. Bajonski now enters the pits. I thought so. His tyres were looking very beaten up, so that releases Cutler. He's now got 8 seconds over Rob Scott. These two not stopped either. Bajonski just gets released. Where does he come out? In 4th. He's got Hatter Lad for company, just 1.1 seconds back. Now on the hard tyre as well, Bajonski, so might be under threat here for that position from Hatter. On that medium tyre. He's only done a lap, but there's already a little line of red on there. Is it Hatter pad? Are you still on pad, Hatter? IT43 in 6th then. His hard's looking pretty good as well, to be honest. Ricky J out on the hards in 7th. Old Crawler has come in. He's swapped onto a set of hards for stint 2, sitting in 8th. Old Crawler, sorry, number 1 Pop's gone for the mediums for stint 2. Let's see if he can make those work. Unfortunately, he's 28 seconds down from Old Crawler. So Rob Scott still finding time. He's taken about half a second out of Cutler's time. Still got D-Dot literally attached on a tow rope, or he may as well be. So Bajonski back out in 4th, but look at that, Hatter Lad all over the back end of him for that position. Hard tyre versus medium tyre. Rob Scott now enters the pits. Where does he come out? Hatter trying to use the power out of the corner to beat Bajonski into turn 1, which he does. Fires himself through on those mediums, keeps it on track as well. Now, can he start pulling a gap? Rob Scott's back out on track as well. Let me get another camera. So he's come out on the hard tyres for stint 2 as well himself. So it is just Cutler and D-Dot, I think, who's yet to stop. 8.1 seconds the lead extends up to. D-Dot now in 2nd place again on those hard tyres. Hatter on those mediums. He'll need to push then. What is he? 14 seconds down from race lead. He's only 6 seconds down from D-Dot. Again, D-Dot's yet to stop, as has Cutler. Hatter exploring those track limits. Pulled almost a second over Bajonski. He won't want those hard tyres on for very long, I can imagine. Rob Scott then out on the hards as well for stint 2. Softs left for all drivers, I think. IT43 on the mediums for stint 2. Ricky J's already blown his hards out. Ricky J, you haven't stopped yet. Your hards are looking remarkably good. What's happening? Why are you now the new tyre whisperer? There they go then. 1st and 2nd into the pits, Cutler and D-Dot. So Cutler's chucked himself in. Oof, Hatter in the background. Cutler then, he's come out on the hard tyre for stint 2. That's going to put him under pressure from Hatter Lad behind. Again, Hatter on the mediums. We know he's quick. He's pulled another half a second over Bajonski. He needs to make those mediums work now before all the drivers are on their soft tyres at the end. That's when the real fight's going to occur. Is still finding time on a set of hard tyres. 2.1 he's just stretched that up to. That could have been due to Hatter's little indiscretion. He's really got to push those mediums to catch up with Cutler before they all drop onto the soft tyres. Oh, they're only do about 10 minutes on these, I think. So D-Dot on the mediums into 4, 7.8 seconds back from Pajonski. Did a good job looking after his tyres in stint 1. Ooh. Tight through there though. Has he got away with it? Yes, he has. Rob Scott losing time, 2.4 seconds back on the hard tyre. IT43 on his fresh set of mediums. Was he 15, 16 seconds down from Rob Scott? It's going to be a tall order. Old Crawler then into 7th position, hard tyres on for his second stint. Everybody got the soft tyres left for the finals, or the final stints. Ricky in 8th then. 2.4 back. He's also on that hard tyre. Again, not stopped yet, Ricky J. Really, oh, there we go. Comes in. Now decides he's had enough of the hards, even though there's hardly any wear on those compared to everyone else's when they came in. Oh, number 1 pops. We just catch getting a little bit wrong through Sheen. Now, what's Ricky J going to do? Is he just taking on board tyres? No, he's taking on board fuel as well this stint. Okay, that should see him to the end of the race. He's just got to dive in and stick a set of tyres on for his second stop. Cutler still leads though on that hard tyre, 1.5 seconds now. Hatter is bringing that time down. There they go themselves through Sheen. Gap coming down pretty quickly now, 1.2 seconds. So not only does Hatter need to make it past, he needs to get a bit of a gap ahead of Cutler. I've not really been looking at Cutler's fuel either, so just over a quarter of a tank on board for Hatter. Cutler's got a little bit more on and a fresher set of tyres as well. But Hatter is pushing, so he needs to get himself past Cutler. Make a bit of a gap as well, so he gets time to come in, get his tyres on, get that little bit of extra fuel in he's going to need, and get back out. Hopefully stay in or get himself into first. Again, tight through there. Gap still at 1.2 seconds though. Damn it. And again, finds that time through Surtees somewhere, does Cutler. Get back up to 1.6. Hatter, he's going to have a fight on his hands here. Even though he's on the quicker tyre, he's showing an awful lot of wear on those. Pajonski falling a little further back as well. It's 3.7 seconds then, again on that hard tyre. Everybody with the softs left. D-Dot into 4th position, 5.4 back now from Pajonski. Again, needs to make those mediums work now. Chase down those drivers on the hard tyres. Keep himself ahead of this man as well. Also on the hard tyre, 4.6 seconds down now there for Rob Scott. IT43, 15.6 seconds down. Found a little bit of time, but no way near enough to catch up with Rob Scott on this particular stint. Crawler in 7th, 9.5 seconds down. Hard tyres as well for him. Ricky J didn't stop till lap 18. Did Ricky J on that set of hards. Fresh set of mediums out to play on now. And then the softs left for him as well. Be interesting to see how many laps he does on those mediums. Pops, unfortunately, his medium's showing a bit of wear as well. I think he's struggling a little bit. 17 seconds down from Ricky J now. Cutler still finding time on those hards. 2.3 seconds. Hatter is not able to find the time. Pajonski having a little bit of a lonely race. About 4 seconds either way for him. Scott falling right off that fight now. 6 seconds down from D-Dot. These two were pretty much bumper to bumper for the first stint. Little purple sector still from D-Dot. These times will come down when the drivers hit those softs as well. Just over 24 minutes left then. Cutler leading by 1.7 seconds, so lost a bit more time to Hatter, but does seem to be able to find that time in the middle part of this circuit. Again, pulls another bit of time just through Paddock Hill. Pushing hard then Hatter. Field starting to spread out now. It is really only Hatterlad and Cutler that are reasonably close. D-Dot is closing up on Bajonski though, only 3 seconds. Bajonski's not been able to make up any time on Hatterlad yet, but he is slowly coming under increased threat from D-Dot behind. Let's get yourselves on board with a bit of D-Dot. This is what you'll be seeing on his stream, I can imagine. Exploring those track limits again, brings that time down a couple of tenths again though, D-Dot, 2.7 seconds. And easy through there. Gap down to 2.5. Again, this is a medium tyre on board with D-Dot. It's a hard tyre on board in front with Bajonski. But I can see these two getting together just as they hit the pits. They'll both come out on a set of soft tyres. And then there'll be an absolute free-for-all for the end, I think. Oh, D-Dot, D-Dot. There you go, dipping a wheel on the grass. That's all it takes. He's going to have lost a fair bit of time to Bajonski now. Has he? No, for some reason he managed to keep up as much speed going sideways as he did going forwards. Gap only at 2.6. Well held, D-Dot. Now he's lost the time. Just waiting for it to find the next time in line. 2.6 seconds. So Hatter still unable to close that gap at one. Cutler, medium's looking very worn out now as well. Bajonski just holding on to that third position. D-Dot then. Those track limits, he's bringing that time back down between himself and Bajonski, but again I think it's going to be literally when they come in the pits, these two are going to come in side by side. Let's see what the fuel situation's like. D-Dot's got literally a quarter of a tank. Oh, Bajonski's got a great big chunk, so he'll spend less time in the pits anyway, and he'll be on the faster tyre. The fight's on then. Nobody can touch this man at the minute. Cutler on that hard tyre, pulling more time over Hatterlad, 2.6 seconds. Hatter's mediums are absolutely beaten up. Absolutely beaten up. He'll probably be in at the end of this lap, I would expect. And we'll see where that puts him when everyone else comes in the pits. Rob Scott's decided to come in already, so he's taken on board the soft tyre for his final stint. D-Dot's got that gap down to 1.6 seconds. A whole second throughout that last lap. There is Rob Scott then, out on his fresh set of softs. I'm not sure why Rob Scott alone. It's only Rob Scott that's glitching. So what can he do with those soft tyres? 20 minutes he's got to try and run on those, and they will wear out pretty damn quickly here at Brands Hatch, I think. Hard seemed to do all right. IT43 still on that set of mediums, not taking his second stop yet either. Old Crawler in 7th. A very lonely race at the minute. 15 seconds in front to IT43 and 13 seconds behind to Ricky J. He's got another 30 seconds back to number 1 Pops in 9th. Have you just taken your final stop as well? No? Oh, you came in on lap 20, alright. Maybe you did come in early. I think you have taken on your softs earlier than everyone else. Oof. Cutler now 4 seconds up the road from Hatter. Hatter again losing time to these two, Bajonski and D-Dot. Second apart between them, but they are only 2 seconds behind Hatter. Struggling on those mediums, the tyres peeling up at every opportunity. The gap down to 1.7 seconds between Hattelad and Bajonski. There's D-Dot still clung onto the back end of Bajonski as well. Oh, Hatter nearly getting it wrong there as well through Hawthorns, but managed to just keep it pointing in the right direction. Didn't lose any time either. Oh, now he will. That's a Sheen curve for you. It's a tricky corner at the best of times. So will he come in though, Hatter? His tyres, no, he's stopping out for another lap. That's a brave move. I think he's going to lose that position with those two so close. Cutler though up front, 5.2 seconds, still hardly anything showing on his hard tyres. Is he going to run those to fuel and then just come in for the softs? We'll see. So there is Hatter still holding on to that second. We've got D-Dot now who's got his way past Bajonski. Medium tyre versus hard tyre. Most drivers have got to take their final stop. IT43 comes in this lap though. Rob Scott, he came in a couple of laps ago. Running to the end. IT43 come out on a set of softs as well. 18.5 seconds down from Rob Scott though. Old Crawler on the hard, yet to take his final stop, just 6 seconds down from IT43, but that'll all disappear when he comes in the pits. Ricky J's still got to come in the pits and take his final stop, as has number 1 Pops. But Cutler is running away with this one at the minute. 7.2 seconds is his current lead. 7.4 seconds. And there's the trio. We've got D-Dot, Hatter and Bajonski bumper to bumper. When will these drivers decide to come in? Is Hatter's risking another lap on those mediums? Look at the state of him. Bajonski's thrown himself in. He just wants those hards off ASAP. Wants the softs on for this final stint. There is race leader. Comfortable out front, 7-second lead. D-Dot's medium still looking good. Hatter's are not. He is almost out of fuel as well. Running it to the limits then, Hatter. Bajonski back out the pits in 4th. He's only 11 seconds down from Hatter. And again, on that soft tyre, should be able to make that gap come down pretty quickly. Scott's going to push those softs as well. He's only 4 seconds back from Bajonski now, actually. IT43, he's out on the softs. Old Crawler is still out on the hards. Ricky J, oh, Ricky J, why have you got rear end damage? There's nobody near you. you've gone backwards, haven't you, somewhere? Where have you gone backwards? I think you've gone backwards at Hawthorns myself. Number 1 pops his softs already, big chunks of wear on. Here is race leader Cutler then, losing time to D-Dot. 6.6 seconds. When will he come in? Will you be in this lap, Cutler? No, stops out for another one. D-Dot then 6.7 seconds back. He comes in this lap. Hatter should be in this lap as well. He is. No fuel on board for him. Jonski, who's already been in, got enough fuel and tyres to last the end of the race. And gets himself back into 2nd position. So D-Dot released from the pits. Ooh, takes a bit of grass there. He might pick up a penalty for that, I'm not sure. Managed to just hold on to 3rd position. Doesn't look like he's got a penalty, but he has held on to 3rd. Soft tyre on board for him. Rob Scott behind. Came in a couple of laps before him. So a little bit of wear on those. D is on a mission. He is 21 seconds down from race leader Cutler. Again, that time will come down. Cutler's on the hard tyre. Jonski on the softs, D-Dot now on the softs, Rob Scott on the softs. They'll all be pushing hard to try and close these gaps. Hattelad, fresh set of softs then as he comes out of the pits. IT43 on the softs, Old Crawler, fresh set of softs on now. Ricky J has come in for his final stint, and we just await number 1 pops, but he stays out for another lap, as does Cutler. Is he going to come in this one? Does, in he comes. Where are Pajonski? He's got to take on board a little bit of fuel as well, but I think he's got enough time to get himself tyres and fuel. Pajonski just coming around this final corner then. Now do we see Cutler get released? There he is, side by side. He's going to come out neck and neck with Pajonski. Pajonski carrying the extra speed through though. So the battle now on then. All drivers, I think, except number 1 pops have stopped, and everybody's got the set of softs to play with. Now Pajonski up front. He's got exactly 1/4 of a tank on. Cutler's got just over 1/4 of a tank on. A lap apart on stops. D-Dot only 2.3 back as well on a set of softs. Rob Scott on his semi-worn softs in 4th. Hattelad pushing hard in 5th. Fresh set of softs on for him as well. IT43 has closed that gap down 14 seconds. He was about 18 seconds behind. Crawler, unfortunately, is another 28 seconds down. Ricky J is another 14 seconds down. And number 1 pops still not stopped for his final stint, have you? Oh yes, you did, lap 20, yeah. Soft's looking very beaten up now though. Now can Pajonski hold on to this race lead? He's got a bunch of fast drivers within close proximity of him. Cutler, D-Dot, Rob Scott and Hattelad. What are they? 7 seconds between the top 5 drivers. And falling 6.8. Everybody on a push then at in the final stint here at Brands Hatch. Cutler pushing as hard as he can to try and close up on Pajonski in front. Ooh, D-Dot in the background's running a little bit deep through. Oof, and Rob Scott as well, a little bit deep through Paddock Hill. Still top 5, 6.7 between them. I can imagine that will only come down. D thinks he's short on fuel. Oof, he could be, you know, he could be. Everyone else has got about a quarter of a tank on. Pjonski's got just under. D-Dot's got a great big chunk under though. 9.5 minutes left to run. Oof, don't know. That could be a good call there. Rob Scott's still got plenty of fuel on, as has Hatterlad. I think most drivers have got just under quarter of a tank or just over, or except RT43, who's decided to, he wants another 15 minutes of racing after everyone's gone home. He's got half a tank on, as has Old Crawler. Ricky J's got just over half a tank. Number one Pops went for the half a tank as well, I think. But it's on here then between Pjonski and Cutler. The gap down to 0.3 of a second. Cutler's soft's looking so much better than Pjonski's. It's only 9 minutes remaining. Pjonski's just got a... Ooh, I don't know whether he's going to do it. Cutler's already having a look up the inside into Druids. Switching to the outside, looking to run around the outside and get the run on him down into Graham Hill, but it's not worked. Let's get a bit of that one. So on board with race leader Pjonski as he tries to fend off a very angry looking Cutler chasing him down. Gap's still at 0.3. 8 minutes left on the race clock. D-Dot not too far away in third position either. A little bit of a gap back to Hatterlad, who's got himself past Rob Scott, so Rob then pushed down to fifth. Hatterlad now is fourth. Cutler still not found a way past Pjonski. Is he biding his time? We'll see. D-Dot's closed that gap up though. But as Mr. Wolf says, has he got his strategy a little bit wrong? Is he going to run out of fuel? Let's have a little jump on board with him and see what it's like. Oh, yeah, D-Dot, I don't think you're making it around here, my friend. You can see the battle in front, though. Pjonski and Cutler still raging on. Cutler trying to get his nose up the inside as they head up into Druids again. I think he's got it this time, but can Pjonski switch back up the inside? Not this time, can he? No, Cutler manages to get through, so back into first position for Cutler. Pjonski holds on to second. D-Dot closes that gap 1.5 into third. Pjonski having another look into Surtees. They've got to give each other room through there. This is all going to help D-Dot's battle out. He's quite happy for these two to have a bit of a punch up. There is Hatterlad looking to close up as well. 3.9 seconds back, unfortunately. Bit of work for him to do. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left on the race clock. Is Cutler going to be able to hold on to this one? It's Pjonski now piling the pressure on, but it's a fresh-ish set of softs versus a semi-worn-ish set of softs. D-Dot's tank already flashing red at him. He's got 6 minutes left to go here. He's going to have to come in the pits for fuel, unfortunately. And that's going to put him down probably 5th position. Stays out this time though. So 5.5 minutes left. Pjonski versus Cutler. D-Dot just in the background. Starting to catch up with a couple of back markers as well. Let's hope they can get through those cleanly. Ooh, a little bit wide there for Cutler. That's going to allow Pjonski to pull back on him. Just staying at about 0.4 at the minute. D-Dot, unfortunately, I think he's gone into a bit of fuel saving mode. Losing time, 2.6 seconds down from Pjonski, now 3.1 down from Hatter. Might have changed his fuel strat to try and just get him home really seeing any short shifting from him either. So 4.5 minutes then. Yes. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. I was looking at the wrong driver. I was looking at number 1 Pops there, thinking that was Cutler, but it wasn't. So they've got to get past number 1 Pops cleanly. They're trying to use him for a bit of a tow. He's peeled himself off track and out of the way. Cutler and Pajonski go through then. Gap just extends up to 0.5, but Pajonski brings it back down. He's getting a tow. D-Dot's managed to pick himself up a penalty. He might make this, you know, on that fuel. I don't know how, but he might just make this. So Cutler still holding off Pajonski. His tyres are in a lot better condition. Pushing hard though, Pajonski, gap of 0.5, nearly 0.6. Goes over 0.6, Pajonski. D-Dot, sorry, 3.6 seconds down now from that fight. Hatterlad, he's got number 1 Pops to negotiate his way past. One Pops doing the great bit of driving there, pulling himself off the racing line. Hatterlad's soft, looking very worn out though. Rob Scott's not looking too bad in 5th. Now, if Hatter's tyres were a bit better, I think he'd be able to put the pressure on D-Dot, but I don't think that's going to happen with the amount of wear he's got on those. Rob Scott might even have a push back at him. 43, he's having a lonely race at the minute. 20 seconds in front to Rob Scott, 31 back to Old Crawler in 7th. Old Crawler also having a bit of a lonely one. 10 seconds back to Ricky J as well. Ricky J 41 seconds ahead of this man, number 1 Pops. He's now in the thick of it with no, he's not. The top 5 have managed to get past him. The other drivers are a long way back. So Cutler pulls 1.5 seconds. It's looking good for Cutler to take the win here. 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the race clock. They're going to see one more lap after this. D-Dot's fuel might not be saying the same thing. We'll see, he might be able to get around this lap, but I don't think he's going to make another one on that one. Cutler pulling a little bit more time over Pajonski. Just able to put these minis exactly where he wants them. Whispers those tyres around this circuit as well. Gap up to 1.7 seconds. Pajonski might be just starting to feel the hurt on his softs. Just having to back off through some of these turns, maybe. D-Dot. How are you going to make another lap? Hatter's only 2.5 back. He is still pushing hard. Rob Scott as well coming back at him. 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds now. So final lap coming up then. Cutler crosses the line, Pajonski crosses the line. D-Dot, if you make this, it's going to be a miracle. If you hold on to the position, it's going to be an even bigger miracle. Oof, I say that, Hatterlad's got literally no fuel on either. It could all come down to Rob Scott. He's got enough fuel to push on this lap. As has IT43, Old Crawler, Ricky J and number 1 Pop. Oof, number 1 Pops, your tyres are very, very broken. He doesn't want to do another lap, so he's just backing off, letting the timer tick over. That's it, he will cross the line and take the first of the positions, so he comes in 9th position, then number 1 Pops, and it is looking so good for Cutler now. 3.2 seconds lead. Still plenty of fuel on for Pajonski, but he's just not been able to find that time. D-Dot and Hatter. Oof. Oh, yeah, there you go. Rob Scott then making the move. He's got the fuel to be able to press around this final lap. Oh, it's not worked out this time, though. Hatter's gone defensive into Hawthorns. He's having to go defensive into Westfield. So, last few drivers are just crossing the line now, but we'll stick with the front guys. It is going to be Cutler that takes the win, unless he sticks it in the sand here at Clark Curve, which I can't see him doing. Who's going to take those other positions? So Cutler, flash of the lights as he comes up to the line. Handbrake and backwards for first. Bajonski coming up to the line. Backwards for second. D-Dot comes up to the line. He is out of fuel now. Made it. Rob Scott just makes his way past Hatter. I think Hatter, yeah. Hatter also just out of fuel there, right on that final corner, I think. So Rob Scott did take fourth. Hatter took fifth. IT43 is going to take sixth. He's got no choice. Old Crawler's already taken seventh. Ricky J has taken eighth. And number one Pops we saw across the line. Oosh. Just catch IT43 backwards for sixth. There we go, round 6 of the CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup, hosted by TANSO Racing, done and dusted. First race of the new year, people. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a good one. I hope there was no sort of trauma or anything like that. You know, nobody likes that kind of stuff over those holiday periods, do they? But yeah, there we go. Some decent racing. I told you it would all come back together at the end, didn't I? All spreads out during the pit stops. All comes back together at the end. Absolute punch up. So apologies for the two streams. If you want to watch qualifying, you'll just have to listen to me waffling because there's no sound. And then this is the second stream where I've restarted it, found out what I did wrong, and threw yourself off at the start and overfueled by 9 laps. Yeah, I thought you put a bit too much fuel in IT43, and I did see you throw yourself off track right at the start as well. So unfortunate for you, mate, but there's a decent comeback. What were you, 6 in the end? You had a good push, you had a good fight past, was it Old Crawler or number one Pops, I think? Had a good battle trying to get past him. No problem, Mr. Rob Scott, no problem. But yeah, some good racing in the first race of the year. Round 6 of the CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. Same time, same place next week for round 7. I am back on Wednesday night at the same time, 8:30, for the Team Oliver Racing GR3 League. Make sure you come and stop by in that. That's back on GT7 and PS5. So hopefully it's not looking too bad. I think most drivers are now on the PS5. I don't know about one driver, but most drivers are now on PS5. We'll see. We'll see. We did get a bit of glitching in the lobbies, but we'll see how that gets on. Yes, I know IT43. I think I said it. D was on minus 10% fuel, I think. Yeah, I think you could be right there, Mr. Wolf. Yes, IT43. I was saying that during the stream, that you know you had the pace because you were second in qualifying, and then decided to bin it in lap 1 for some reason. But there you go, done and dusted for another week. So yes, same time, same place next week for round 7, and same time, but I suppose same place, different day, Wednesday, 8:30 here for the Team Oliver Racing GR3 League. Come and check that one out. Again, might be some rusty drivers in that one, we'll see. But that's pretty much going to be it from me. I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.